All right, let's check this out. I want to find out who this Charlie guy is. I don't know who he is. And Great Britain
The Prime
news.
Minister will be urged to launch a new national inquiry into grooming gangs in a report due next week, directly linking the issue to men of Pakistani origin.
Who's this lady? Anyone know? Like, is she famous?
Even saying that probably makes me racist. In any case, the findings from Baroness cases a month
That's funny. Hang on, I'm going back.
The Prime Minister will be urged to launch a new national inquiry into grooming gangs in a report due next week, directly linking the issue to men of Pakistani origin, which even saying that probably makes me racist.
That should be pointed out. Speaking from an American perspective, everyone, every single time you mention the grooming gangs and you mention that they're Pakistanis or Muslims, you should always point out, but apparently that makes me racist, right? You should always mock the idea that you're racist for pointing out like evil and rape and stuff like that.
Yes, the findings from Baroness cases, a months-long audit, will warn that white British girls were ignored due to fears of racism. Despite resistance from Sir Keir Starmer, who says another inquiry would delay justice, a report suggests the findings will...
Did she just go, yeah?
She just said that.
She did the Tommy thing. She went, yeah. And so as we're examining this, yeah,
for a fresh investigation into the perpetrator's race and claims of a cover-up. Well, we have the expert on this story, a man that has done brilliant work on it, covered it from day one, and that is GB News national reporter Charlie Peters. Charlie, once again, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone for the work you've done on this. Where are...
Wait, how is this guy the crack reporter? He looks like he's 20, man. This guy looks like he's 20.
Now,
man.
what does this mean?
Well, a few years ago, GB News published a report that said over 50 different towns and cities...
How old does this guy look to you, AP? I want to look him up. Huh? What's his name? Charlie what? Was it Charlie Peters?
Charlie Hebdo.
Charlie Hebdo. No, it's not Charlie Peters. Oh, wait, it is. GB News. Come on, tell me how old you are, man. Looks like he's 12. I don't know.
Hey, this is so funny. I'm looking at the New World Translation on the Jehovah's Witnesses
That's what
website.
you're doing?
Yeah. Acts 8:37. When you go to verse Acts 8:37, there are just two hyphens. The verse is not given. And the verse is the one that says, what does it say? If you testify that Jesus is the Son of God, or something like that. It's very funny.
Hey, hang on. I wanted to get down to 3 super chats because I want to get to Daniel's. Liberals to me, you're an ex-Muslim woman, but you're still Palestinian. Why don't you support your people? Me, the same people who disowned me at 17 for converting to Christianity and want me dead. That is a valid point. Very valid point. IDF veteran here. Unalive the children on purpose is the type of order you're taught never to follow. Good. Don't want to follow that. Hey, look at this one. This is one I wanted to get to. Daniel says, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Ezekiel 25:17. That goes on, but that became the quotation of Jules in Pulp Fiction. Remember that?
Oh.
Pulp Fiction?
Oh,
he was quoting that?
Oh, yes.
Thank you guys. Yep. And all right, back to, you see this guy, AP? This guy's everyone's saying this guy is like the one who made the government investigate this stuff. And it's like, I don't know.
These had been affected by this scourge in recent decades. Now, after we put that out, the then government, which was under the command of Rishi Sunak, launched a grooming gangs task force. It's made well over 1,000 arrests since April 2023. But in this new administration under a Labour government, they have resisted calls since January for a national inquiry into the grooming gang scandal. They've done so because they say that localised inquiries are more effective. They point to the Telford model because Telford had a review published in 2022, which found over 1,000 victims over a few decades. They've also said that we've already had an inquiry, the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, which was published in 20.
Oh, bull. Bull. I asked Grok. I asked Google. Google didn't answer me. I asked Grok. Grok says he's 42 years old. Are you kidding me? AP. This guy look 42 to you?
42 years old.
This guy, look at him.
2017. However,
What's his name?
that review.
Charlie Peters.
That's ridiculous.
There's no way.
That's
That
a
has to
lie.
be a mistake. That has to be a mistake. If you had said 30, I would have said no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Did not look sufficiently, some say, into the grooming gang scandal. Looked at just 6 areas, not the vast number it should have, with the 50 areas that we have highlighted,
Exactly,
for
yes.
example. I should say that was actually published in 22, not 2017, sorry. However, it does look now, based on reports we're seeing in newspapers, that Baroness Casey's report is going to call for a national inquiry into the grooming gang scandal. We don't know what the government reaction to that will be. They could fudge it. They could say, no, we don't need this. We're standing by what we've argued for the last 6 months. We need more localised inquiries, as they've argued for. I can say now that survivors have been contacted by the Safeguarding Minister, Jess Phillips, this morning. Some victims of grooming gangs have got in touch with me today to say that that minister from the Home Office has engaged with them to say that they will be announcing new actions next week.
Right,
So it's the
okay.
first we're hearing about what's coming up. New actions will be
New actions. That's good to know. Because their old actions sucked, I have to say.
coming next week, guided, I'm told, as Jess Phillips has told one person I'm in correspondence with, by testimony they've given to ministers. I know that many survivors have been meeting with the Home Office team, particularly Jess Phillips, in the last 6 months. Some of those survivors have been actually introduced to the Home Office by GB News. We've facilitated those introductions so that more testimony can be heard by Home Office ministers. But I am hearing now from some of those survivors that Jess Phillips has been in touch to say there will be new actions. We don't know.
Okay, so Jess Phillips has been in touch with actual victims of things and so on to inform them about new things that will happen. That is good. Anyway, I'm kind of 50-50 on whether this is all for show or whether they're actually going to do something. I mean, keep in mind, even if it's for show, they will do something. They will do something. But is what they're doing for show? Or is someone serious about getting to the bottom of this and exposing everything that happened and everyone who was involved and stuff like that? I would love to see that. In fact, I'll go and say it. Everyone who's doing this right now, British government, you can actually make me trust you more if you actually do this, do a real serious job of this. I will say, you know what? The British government has sucked for centuries, but they've changed and they're doing something positive.
What those new actions will be.
What?
Very important information. He's not in his 40s. That was
good. Thank you.
That's a wrong reference. Because he was married to somebody else's age. Nobody knows how old he is. It's not made public. So until he publicly explains how old he is, we will refer to him as a 12-year-old child.
I agree. Watch another minute of this.
We don't know what it will be. And it will really rely on what Baroness Casey says, because they announced this rapid audit in January, in the middle of that month, after 2 weeks of really relentless pressure with Conservatives, the Reform Party, Elon Musk, many other influential public figures also calling for a national inquiry into this grooming gang scandal. Because we've had so many public inquiries over the last decade or so. Infected blood.
Yep.
There's been an inquiry launched into Lucy Letby. We're going to have an inquiry into the Nottingham tragedy from a few years ago. But this issue, for one reason or another...
I don't know why we're focusing on this, but someone said he's close to 30 based on his college education listed on LinkedIn. So they basically did an estimate. Here's when he went to college and so on, and therefore he'd be close to 30. It is weird that you can't find someone's age, though.
it's always escaped that level of statutory investigation.
I think we all know what the reason is, though, don't we, Charlie?
Precisely.
But, I mean, we really do.
But perhaps there could be more reasons that we don't know that would be uncovered by a statutory investigation. Perhaps it would reveal, beyond what we're hearing from this report today, that there are fears of racism preventing investigation. I've always said, and I really do think this goes a bit further than that, actually.
Yeah, I do too.
This isn't just about political correctness and people fearing them being seen as racist. I think there is corruption and mistakes there, but also collusion.
Yeah.
What I'm really interested in being discovered and being revealed and being investigated by public bodies is collusion between public authorities, those in positions of authority, and abusers. And I also want to see an investigation into organised crime groups and grooming gangs. Because last month, as we were waiting for...
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Baroness Casey's what was meant to be a rapid audit, which has turned into a 6-month audit.
6 months.
As we were waiting for that to come back, we published our own sort of national audits. We found hundreds of convictions since the early noughties, but we also found 0 deportations since 2011, and we...
Did you hear this? 0 deportations because of this? Since 2011? You're muted, man.
Deportations are racist. Deportations are oppression. Deportations are literally Holocaust. This is the Western mindset. What do you expect?
Yeah, and they always do the same thing. Well, if we deport him, they might have a problem with him being a rapist over there, and they might beat him up, so we need to keep him here and let him keep raping. This is insane.
Who cares? Deport him. I don't care.
But think about it. And then I
do not care.
There was that recent case where you had a guy who did all sorts of messed up stuff, and then he had no contact with his kid, but they still said that his defense was, but who's gonna teach my kid the Quran if you send me back home? And they're like, oh, you need someone. Yes, you need to be here to teach your kid the Quran. It's like this guy's like a pedophile, man. This is insane, man. Anyway, so Charlie there, he did bring up some interesting points there. He's like me, he wants to see, okay, we all understand there were people who were terrified of being called racist, and they would rather let girls be drugged and raped and gang raped and so on. They would rather do all of that. They would rather do all of that than be called a name, than be called a racist. We understand that. He's talking about, okay, who's involved, who's covering things up, are there connections to organized crime, traffickers and things like that? He wants all that stuff to come out. I agree. That is good stuff. Good stuff. So guys, I don't think we actually can know anything more until this actually unfolds. I don't think we can know any more about this investigation until it happens, and then we're going to see how serious they are about it. So we just have to wait and see at this point.